Good afternoon, YouTube. First of all, I'd like to, even though I'm not a Christian or anything, I do not believe in any of these religious celebrations and all that. I'd still like to wish any of my subscribers who do subscribe to the Christian faith a happy Easter Sunday. So, yeah, just best wishes since it's your holiday. So, I came on here to talk about a recent occurring which has happened in my country, because recently there's been a lot of reformations, it's almost like a huge revolutions happening in my country at the moment, and with racial issues and everything like that. So yeah, so recently there's been an older, she's not very old, but she's an older lady. She's her name is Miss Vicki Momberg. She's a former real estate agent. So recently, because there was a situation, I think back in 2015, where she was had her car broken down in Johannesburg, and then the cops were called to help her and everything, and there was a black police officer and a white police officer who came to her aid, basically. So then she got mad about that, and then she basically used a racial slur towards the black police officer. She called him a gaffer. That's how you because I've heard some Americans not pronounce it properly, but you have to say the and a but anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, it's a derogatory term which was historically goes back to apartheid, the days of apartheid. That was basically a word which was used to demean black people and everything. And yeah, it's basically the American equivalent of the N-word. So yeah, basically that's how it is, basically. And yeah, so basically she wanted a she got mad, and she called the black police officer that racial derogatory term, and then she said she wanted a colored or Indian police officer. And the thing is, some people were wondering what's the difference between colored and black and everything. So I just want to explain now just quickly. Basically, in South Africa, it's because of apartheid, the Color Act of 1950, during apartheid, where there was the breaking down of the races. So then there was white, there was basically someone who was white, and then there was Indian/Asian, basically anyone of Indian, Asian, Malaysian descent, and there was colored. Basically, colored means anybody who's of mixed ancestry. Basically, being black in America, they call it you're just black, based on the one drop rule. But during apartheid, it made a difference where it's light skin, basically light skin versus dark skin, basically. And the colorism is still kind of bad. And even today in South Africa, the legacies of apartheid still are kind of seen, because the colored people, the lighter skinned mixed people, have their own little communities away from the black people, the darker skinned people. So it's basically colored people intermarry and everything, so they only mix within the light skin communities, as far as marriage, dating and everything like that. And then also there was black. Obviously black is basically dark skin black. So basically, so I would be considered in America, I'd be considered black, but in South Africa I'd be considered a colored, because I'm not quite that dark. So yeah, and I have from my parents a mixed ancestry and everything. So yeah, but yeah, so she was basically sentenced for that. And she was it was apparently she was sentenced by a judge. Her name was Miss Privana Ragudanan. Basically, she was sentenced by her, basically 3 years imprisonment and 1 year suspension, and then 1 year suspension back in November of 4 counts of crime and injury, and she was actually denied bail by the judge. And yeah, so and then the National Prosecuting Authority spokeswoman, Miss Pindi Njondwe, she basically said it was basically the first time in that somebody was sentenced with crime and injury, basically because it's usually more coupled with several cases. It's not just one count. So yeah, one case, like, you know, so it usually has like a build up. So basically that's what it was. Yeah, so she was sentenced, and even the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and even her herself, the national spokeswoman, Miss Pindi, basically said like hopefully this might send like a stern warning like towards like the racial climates in our country, that like this racism will not be tolerated and everything. So yeah, and it's similar to like another case back in was it 2016, where another lady, her name was Miss Penny Sparrow or something, like she had like made some comments about some calling people, like black people, some monkeys on the beach or something, and then like there was like she was charged and she was forced to pay I think it was 10,000 was it 10,000 US dollars or 10,000 rands, I kind of forgot, but yeah, she was forced to pay that like as a compensation to charity, like basically as a penalty. But however, Miss Vicki was denied bail, like in contrast. So yeah, and also I remember actually, you know, the Democratic Alliance, which is the leading opposition political party, DA. I love the DA, Democratic Alliance. They responded to Miss Penny Sparrow. This was back in 2016. They revoked her Democratic Alliance membership in as that response, basically because like to show the people in South Africa that we need to like move forward like together as all races, black, white, Indian, colored, Tsonga, Silach, whatever you are, you know. Yeah, just yeah, so just yeah, so I thought it was really like liquor. So yeah, you know me, but yeah, so yeah, so like, you know, there's been controversy. Some people say, was it right for her to be sentenced to prison for racial slurs? Me personally, I do not know. I just don't like racism. I just don't like the ugliness which has been going on, like just not just in South Africa but just globally. I just don't like the ugliness, like racism, like prejudice, sexism, homophobia. I'm just like, people should stop being so intolerant and being so disrespectful towards each other. And yeah, this is me. But do I think that she deserved to be punished? Yes, she did. And I really can't say I feel bad for her, like for all those things that she said and everything like that. So that she's being sentenced, I guess it will send a stern warning that, you know, intolerance will not be tolerated in our new rainbow nation, like post-apartheid. So yeah, so I guess even though apartheid was like ended like 1990, when there were those I forgot, in 1990, I forgot what they call referendums. Yes, referendums in 1990, when Nelson Mandela was released from prison and all that stuff. And then 1994 was actually the first actual, you know, where everybody could vote equally election. So yeah, so I just feel like, yeah, she did deserve to be punished. So yeah, intolerance will not be tolerated. So yeah, so that's just my thoughts on the situation. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share my video, and I'll see you all in the next one.